Aren't you tired of boring and predictable podcasts? Remember the movie Groundhog Day? Ugh. The only thing predictable about this show is that we're guzzling booze. Count on it. This is the Appleboys podcast. Appleboys.us. If it's NFTs, music festivals, sporting events, strip clubs, current events, or masturbation techniques. Did I read that right? There's more than one? Fueled by, but not sponsored by, Miller Lite. This is the Appleboys podcast. Now your hosts, Josh, Corey, Rob, and Jimmy. Rob has issues. Just saying, bro.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah?
Hey, do you live here?
No. This is my mom's house. I live with my mom. Are you hungry? You look hungry. Hey, Mom! Can we get some meatloaf? Mom! Fuck! I never know what she's doing in there, man. It's just like, she's just like any other, what is she doing? Mom! Can we get some meatloaf?
Man, I really hope the pizza delivery people are outside.
I really hope my neighbors are like, what is happening over there?
Happy Mother's Day from the Appleboys. I'm Josh. I'm here with Rob.
That's what we're doing.
What's up, Rob?
Was?
Hey, I'm usually number 3, but today I'm number 2.
Hey, Jimmy. What's up?
I'm usually number 4, but I'm Jimmy.
And we saved the best for last. What's up, Corey?
Hey, I'm Corey.
Hey, you can go fuck yourself.
Nice.
Hey, so listen. I want to start out the episode by saying to my mom, if you're listening, first of all,
she's not listening.
Hopefully the reason you're listening is because this podcast has become so wildly popular that you're trying to figure out how I'm making millions of dollars a month on it. And if that's the case, like, it's because I'm unbelievably funny and I'm with 3 of my unbelievably funny friends and we're just making incredible amounts of money.
I thought we were just business partners.
Okay.
Well,
we don't like hang out outside of here.
There's also the possibility that someone told you to listen to this because they heard me on it and you've listened to other episodes before this one. And if that's the case, I apologize. But I love you, Mom. Thank you for all you've done.
we're sorry, Josh's mom.
And I also want to give a special shout out to #Jimmy's mom. What's up, Jimmy's mom?
Hey. It's Jimmy's mom.
Wow.
That's not actually Jimmy's mom. That's Jimmy.
Your mom doesn't sound like that at all.
Not even a little bit.
Jimmy's mom, I hope you are recovering. I heard you recently had an injury, so hope all is well.
Took a little tumble.
Yep. So, what have you guys been up to?
Chilling.
Just got back from Florida.
Yep.
Really? Because I've been working a lot.
Sucks for you, buddy.
You were in Florida?
Oh, Rob.
I was in Florida too.
Oh,
We
wow.
were all in Florida except for Jimmy.
Except for Jimmy.
We left him at home to work. Somebody's got to pay the bills.
True.
Somebody's got to keep the studio lights on.
True. Thanks for paying my electric bill, by the way.
Fuck you.
So we've been posting about this on Discord and Twitter, but 3 of the 4 Appleboys went to Orlando for a nerd conference that we went to together, and we paid extra to check very heavy bags. In fact, on the way back, I had to pay a $100 overage fee because my bag was 59 pounds.
Your bag got heavier
Somehow.
on the way back?
Yeah, it got not just heavier, it got 7 pounds heavier.
Did you check in at the front? Like right by at the front of the airport?
Yeah,
So I think they're working people for extra money
I think so too.
because my bag came in at 54 pounds and the guy was like, bag's 54 pounds, man. I was like, okay. So how much does that cost? And he's like, it's an extra $100. I was like, all right, I guess it is what it is.
So you also had to pay the extra $100.
Wait for it. Then he was like, I'll hook you up, man. Don't worry. I'm going to save you $100.
You son of a bitch.
So I tipped him $10.
He didn't do that to me. We must have got a different dude.
Yeah,
Rob was sitting there with me.
Yeah, we got someone that was angry.
Yeah, he was not happy to be at that place at that time.
I think that he's just working people for tips because I was like completely like, okay, whatever. It's $100. That's fine.
That sucks.
The person that
I
went,
paid the $100.
Yeah,
That
Josh
sucks.
definitely paid the $100. The person that went like before us, like right before us, as far as the bag thing goes, like the person, like this guy just became available. Like the previous client left, and this lady in front of us walked up, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not ready for you yet." And,
Yeah, that was
super
really funny.
aggressively. I was like, "Oh shit!" And sure enough, we roll up, and it's us that gets him.
Yep. So, but anyway, the reason the bags were so heavy is because we lugged all the podcast gear to fucking Orlando, Florida. So we had these heavy microphones, and I bought these tabletop mic stands, and we took the pop filters and the Rode Class A servo biased Apex onboard preamp podcast mixer thing.
Every time do you say that, do you just read the board or do you have it memorized?
I just read it.
Got
Which
it.
is why it differs a little bit every time, because sometimes I struggle with my reading comprehension. Thank you for bringing
I
that
like
Got
to
it.
think that he has tried to memorize it many, many times, but it's like a bad infomercial. He can't quite get it right.
up.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably true. Anyway, we took all the shit down there, not just for the sake of taking it down there. We had every intention of doing our first remote show that wasn't in one of our local studios, and just didn't work out. We were very, very busy while we were there.
Yeah, we had a lot to do. We had a lot to drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly the drinking part, I'd say. We would get to the point where like, we should probably do this. And then one of us would just be like, I can't.
Yep. So we're in the hotel room. We each have separate hotel rooms. Really nice, swanky place. We spent way more money than we should have on it. But, you know, we like to treat ourselves from time to time.
Did you say
Treat
swanky
yourself.
or wanky?
Swanky?
Wanky
you know.
is different.
I mean,
Swanky swinky.
Robert did,
Nope.
you know.
He be wanking?
So
Oh,
I was expecting
Nope.
to have a king suite. Maybe not a suite, but like a single king bed. I've become accustomed to sleeping in a king because that's what I do at home. But whenever
king shit.
that is king shit. Whenever I went to check in, what's so funny, Jimmy?
Wow!
So none of you guys that listen to the podcast could hear that because
totally
the mic
could.
doesn't pick it up. But
Does it not?
no, absolutely not.
It's
But
so loud.
Rob's cat is in the hall, at least 25 feet away from us, just howling at the moon. And like
Yeah, it's a lot.
every time we get here, his cat is just like full on in heat.
He just gets lonely.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be restricted.
Anyway, we get there to check in. I'm expecting to have a room with a king because that's what we reserved. And they're like, we don't have any of those. So they gave me a double queen room. Meanwhile, Corey gets like a corner lot with a king bed with like 400 square feet for activities.
It was great.
Did you push the queen beds together?
No, you can't push beds together in a swanky hotel. They're like bolted to the floor.
I don't know if that's true or not.
You
I
didn't
think
bring
you
a
probably
drill?
could have.
No, it's you absolutely cannot.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So I always bring a drill.
Yeah. All right.
On the plane and stuff?
Yeah, you like unbolt the beds
But
and
anyway,
push them together.
It turns
How do
out
you get that through security?
that
It's
it was
drill.
a good thing.
What am I going to do?
True.
It was a good thing that I got the double queen room because Rob's a fucking idiot. And
I booked for 4 nights.
he booked
for 5.
for the wrong number of nights. So Corey and I are checking out on the 30th. Rob, whose flight back is on the 30th, is checking out on the 29th. So luckily I had a space for him in my room for that last night. But the 4 days before that leading up to it, the second bed was the holding spot for all the podcast equipment. So I had it all laid out, ready to go. I had the mixer and the mics and all that stuff. And we were just ready to go. But we weren't able to record for various reasons. Some of the things that we did were one night I went to the pool. And this particular resort had a like full-on big-time water slide situation with 3 different slides and a lazy river. And
Josh, in all of his wisdom, sent us a picture saying like, hey, I've got 24 Miller Lights that I'm taking to the pool with me. You boys need to come help me drink these.
in a backpack.
Yeah, and I was pretty tired after a long day's worth of activities at the conference. So I was like, hey man, that's, I'll be maybe down in a little bit, but like, don't count on me. Like we'll go to dinner or something.
I had a similar response. I was like, yeah, man, I'm probably just going to like put my feet up in the room or something, get ready for like the evening.
So translation, Corey and Rob left me out to fucking dry. So I'm at the pool by myself and I make some friends while I'm there. And I start drinking some beers and I go down all 3 of the water slides. So I start with the big water slide and it's cool as fuck. So the worst part about it is you have to climb up like 48 flights of stairs and there's no elevator. So by the time I got to the top, I was like, but anyway, that could go one of 2 ways, but it was the exhausted way, not the.
Oh,
yeah.
You weren't cooming?
No, I was not cooming.
Okay.
The pump.
The pump. Who was that?
Arnold's back.
Arnold.
All right. So you get all the way up. You're probably at least 1,500 feet in the air.
No.
Maybe 3,500.
No.
It's way up there.
It's 1 mile high. It is a marvel to behold.
There are a lot of stairs involved.
Yep. And so you get into this little antechamber and
How are you using so many words that are just wrong?
you're standing
An antechamber that's a thing.
you're
Is
standing
that the
on
correct term?
Probably
It
not.
depends on what
Can you
Josh is
stop
talking
interrupting
about.
my
Sorry.
slide story?
Hey.
Sorry.
It is an antechamber.
We're just addressing
Okay.
questions
All
as
right.
they come up, okay?
I wasn't there, so maybe it was.
So you're standing on this plexiglass platform, which, by the way, the top slide specifically says 300-pound weight limit. So I was good. Barely.
I would not have been.
Barely. So you're standing on this plexiglass thing, and you have to, like, cross your arms over your chest and then cross your legs, and they drop the platform out from underneath you and you just go straight fucking down. And
Sounds great.
it was crazy for the first like 2 seconds.
How many beers deep were you for this?
I actually attacked the tall slide first. So when I got to the pool, I hammered down like 4 beers immediately.
Sounds
so
like a bad
I-
idea going on a slide after that.
I was 4 beers deep. However, I drank them so fast, there's no chance that they had any impact. And all the calories that I burned walking up like 2,000 feet worth of stairs, like burned off all the alcohol. So no problems.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's how it works.
Got it.
So really, really scary at first. But then after it goes down, it kind of like goes around in a circular fashion, like most slides that are really tall like that do. And it was a really wide looping circle. And so it slowed down pretty significantly, pretty fast. And so it wasn't as exciting like all the way down. But there's a blue slide and a green slide. And it's like a baby blue and like a
Seafoam?
baby food green. Yeah, seafoam probably is better.
Okay. I know exactly what you mean.
Yep. And so both of those, like when you're getting on the stairs, you can see the ends of those slides. And I didn't realize there were 3 slides. I thought there were only 2. I thought there was the big one and the middle one.
Surprise.
So the big one at the top is blue. And I expected to come out beside the green one at the bottom, right?
yeah.
I thought there were 2 slides. There was green and blue. I thought I started in blue. I'm going to end in blue, right? So I go around the big loop-de-swoop, and then I get to this like big kind of open area, and it starts like really hurting my back because it's not completely smooth, and it's like bumping, and I slow to a complete stop, but I'm definitely not at the thing at the bottom where I thought I was supposed to be. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm too fat for this slide. I stopped halfway through. How am I going to get out? So I'm looking for a way to like get to where I need to be to keep going down the slide. I'm like, I need to keep going. And then I realized that there's this like large bowl that it spits you out in. and you have to get out and climb down some stairs, and there's actually 2 slides in the middle level, one that's blue and one that's green. I didn't realize that at first. So I thought that I had broken the slide rules.
Laws of physics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was really also worried that
Thermodynamics.
Thermodynamics. I was also worried that either the lifeguard was going to realize that I had started and hadn't made it all the way to the bottom, so they were going to send like a rescue squad to get me.
There's fucking helicopters.
Yeah. I was
They
like
just-
a beached whale.
They bust out the stretcher.
They drop like a giant plunger. Just
Have you ever seen like the pictures on National Geographic of the whale that just like washes up on the beach and he's just stuck there? That was me.
They just use like a
Sure.
blowgun and tranquilize you.
Yep. And so that was one of my worries. Or the other worry was that the stoner up top wasn't paying attention that I had made it to the bottom. He was going to send somebody after me, and then they were going to fucking hit me, and I was going to screw up both of our days.
Take your ass
But-
out.
so that
Turns out that didn't happen.
that reminds me of a story of when I worked at a water park way back when. I actually worked at an amusement park. I was a carny. I worked in the
awesome.
games department. That's where I learned most of my sales skills that has helped me in future professions.
Did you listen to ICP before or after that?
That was before.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it start it?
No.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't think people regularly like listen to ICP and then they're like, "Yeah, I want to be a carny."
What do you
That's
mean?
not a thing.
Or they're like, yeah, I'm going to be a normal person.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You either live a juggalo and die a juggalo, or you live there as a juggalo for a little while and then you grow up. I grew up. But
Proud of you.
thank you. They needed help on a Labor Day weekend because this is like a high school job normally. So not a lot of the guys and gals are like out of high school. So like they had to be in school during the Labor Day stuff. But I was one of those that still worked there after high school. So I was in college, the one of 2 semesters that I went to college. And
Same.
yeah, wasn't for me.
No.
But I was working at the water park, and as a non-certified lifeguard, they don't let you work like the real rides. They just kind of let you do the lazy river and like the stuff where like people are probably not going to die doing this stuff if like there's a situation, you know?
Right.
One of those was working the bottom of the SUA slide, which is a very similar thing that Josh just described, where it's like the big tall slide, you go down to the bottom, all that kind of stuff.
So I want you to think of the word suicide, but my brain instantly went to sewage,
Me too.
which is
Oh,
way worse.
okay.
I didn't think about suicide at all. I thought about sewer slide.
Yeah.
I was like, gross.
Yeah.
People poop in this?
Yeah, they like did a
I'm glad
soft
we were on
day.
the same page, Jimmy.
No, I was thinking the same. Like they did a soft day on sewer.
Surprise, it's
Yeah.
the poop slide.
So
We're
we
going
all
down-
thought the same thing.
we're going down the
Nobody
sewer.
got suicide out of that.
This was in Florida, not in Boston. Welcome to the sewer slide.
That's what I thought it was. Like they flush you down.
I mean, all
Fuck
three
you,
of us
buddy.
thought
I'm not
same
riding the
thing.
sewer slide.
yeah, yeah. That's what I thought it was.
Oh,
There's
no.
fucking shit in it.
Yeah. What are those fucking towards? Like,
Towards.
Twas.
That's good. I like that.
but I'm at the bottom of the sewer slide, and you have these little flags, and like whenever somebody comes down, like you hold the flags up, and then when they get out, you drop the flag, and that's when they know that they can let the next person go. And this person got down to the bottom, and I'm sitting there like watching them because they're having a good time or whatever, and you always like, hey, did you have fun? You know, whatever. And have not dropped the flag. And the person like stands up, and like I just see someone, I'm like, oh shit, move. Somebody's coming down the slide and just fucking takes him out. I'm like, oh my God.
At least it wasn't your fault.
Luckily, everyone was okay. But like, I literally thought I was going to watch a man die.
I
Yeah.
thought that was going to happen to me. So anyway, it didn't. But I figured out how to get out of the little thing. Went back to my table, pounded 4 more beers. So at this point, I'm 8 beers in, and it's like 35 minutes maybe. Like, it has not been long.
Was this like
And-
5:30? 6?
It's about 6:15.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
it was between 6 and 7, I'd say.
Well,
somewhere in
no.
there.
Hang on. So the slides closed at 7. The lazy river closed at 8, and I had less than an hour to get everything through the slides, and I did all 3 slides. So I got down there right after 6. So this is all happening between like 6 and 6:45. So I pound the 4 more beers. I'm 8 beers in now. I have a full like backpack of beers, a full 24 pack.
Just strapped to your chest while you're going down the slide.
Oh man, it would be so much better if he had that as like what are those called?
Like the koala pouch things?
Yeah, what are they called for the babies? The fucking, what are those things called?
The Bambino.
Is that? I don't think that's what it's called.
That's it.
No way.
Yeah, a little Bambino.
There's no way that it's named after one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
It's also Italian for small.
Is it? Babe Ruth was very large though.
The Great Bambino.
Yeah, it's like when they call like, giant people tiny. It's like that.
Oh, so he was just the great small one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any
It's
sense.
a joke. Well, look it up.
I believe Rob.
I believe him too. I just think it's stupid.
That's incredible.
All right. So he said that because he just made all that up on the fly. That's incredible. I can't believe they believe me. That's the dumbest shit I've ever said. So I have my 4 more beers, and I decide I'm going to try to get the last 2 slides in so that I can say I did all 3. So I'm climbing up the stairs, and luckily the middle ones are like only 3/4 of the way up, and I'm like halfway up to 3/4 of the way up, and I'm like, I'm not going to do the third slide. I'm not going to make it. So on my way up, I see these 2 guys that were at the same conference that we have been at. And I had never met them before. I hadn't introduced myself. I didn't know who they were. I just knew that they had been at the same conference. And I was like, hey, you pussies coming?
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
And so they were like, fuck yeah, man. So they came up, and the green and the blue slides are right beside each other. And there were 3 of those guys. So they all get up there, and I'm like waiting because I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm like, I need to be able to breathe in case I die. Like, in case I get water in my lungs, I need to be able to breathe. So you're going to have to give me a minute. So they get up there, and there's an odd number. And I'm like, hey, man, you want to race? And he's like, yeah, man. So we both kind of get in the spot. And I'm like, so how are we going to do this? 1, 2, 3, go? He's like, yeah. And so I'm like, all right, 1, 2. And then he just like goes. I'm like, motherfucker. So I go, right? And I was in the one that the 14-year-old attendant that's watching the slides told me was the faster one. So I'm like, I have the weight advantage. I'm in the faster slide. I didn't get the head start, but I'm probably going to be okay. So he probably got like a 3-second head start, and I still smoked his ass. Like, I was standing up watching as he came down. I was like, motherfucker, flipping him off.
I'm proud of you, Josh.
Didn't know this guy, right? But talking mad shit.
Yeah, sure.
And anyway,
That's just how we roll.
that is how we roll.
That is how we roll.
Yeah. So I get done with that. I have 2 more beers. So now I'm 10 beers in less than an hour. So that's like a gallon almost in an hour. And go back up and do the last slide.
Oh, man.
And get done with that. And I'm like, you know what? I need a break. So I'm going to get in the lazy river. So I go, I take my backpack, I move it from the table to a different patio furniture set that they have there, the lounge chair thing.
A secure location.
Yeah, very insecure actually. And
Same.
meanwhile, as I'm walking by, I see this other guy that was at the conference with us that was trying to smoke a cigarette. But
Trying?
there's no smoking in the pool area. And there's this Hispanic lady that works there who's collecting trash and towels and things like that, who's trying to tell him not to smoke, but she doesn't speak any English. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
She's over there just screaming, no fumar.
And he's
What are you talking about, man?
I didn't see your sign, man.
We're outside, aren't we?
Yeah. So
It's
anyway,
a free country.
I sit my shit down, and I see 2 guys from the conference that I do know, right? So I'm like, hey, man, I got some Miller Lite. You guys want to share? So they each grab one. So now my 24 that for me is down to 22.
For the best.
Probably. So they both grab one. I'm like, hey, you guys want to take a stroll around the lazy river? And so we all agree. We get in.
With the beers, or did you have to drink them first?
In this particular situation, we drank them first. So, I had a half drunk one on the table. Number 11 was on the table. So I get in the lazy river, and the very first part where I got in is the most aggressive current that I've ever felt in a lazy river. It was like a riptide in the ocean, and I couldn't stand up straight.
I'm sure it's amplified by your mental state.
No. This was powerful.
Okay.
He thought he was in the lazy river. He was in the overachiever river.
He was in the crazy river.
It was wild. And I know that this is true because everyone else was struggling with the same thing. So it goes for about a quarter of the river. And then when you get to the next corner, it slows down very significantly. And then you're just floating along at a very casual pace. And then you see these people who are like kind of walking along, floating along and everything. And they get to this spot and they're like, wah! And they're like, it was crazy. So
that's incredible.
Anyway, I do like 3 laps around the lazy river. And then I decide the party is just beginning. I need to get in the hot tub. And they have 2 hot tub options. They're self-serve hot tubs. So you turn the timer on and the jacuzzi jets go and everything like that.
Are you responsible for getting rid of the bodily fluids of the previous people?
No, I didn't care about that.
Okay.
Really?
So
just jism floating on the top.
I get into the...
You have to skim it out.
This one's clumpy.
Yeah.
Skim the jism.
It's like when you're making like fresh mozzarella cheese, you have to skim the whey out. It's the same thing.
Skim the jism sounds like a band that Corey would listen to.
Yeah,
probably.
I agree. That sounds like a band that we should make.
Yeah. I agree.
Skim the jism is like the hard part's done. The name is done. Now we just need to make music.
Hello.
All right.
We are
Skim the jism.
Me and Rob are actually trying to make music.
And we come all over you.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I went a different direction.
No, you have to skim. We're cleaning up.
Yeah, we're not coming on people.
We're cum engineers.
What?
Cum engineers is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard.
So I skim the bodily fluid out of the hot tub and I get in. And in the hot tub, I do take like 4 Miller Lights with me. So I've got them like lined up on the side. And there are these 2 other people there that are not there for any sort of conference. They're just trying to innocently have a vacation.
They're just trying to have a good time.
And so there's this one guy in the pool or in the hot tub by himself. And then there's me. And then there's these 2 people that are trying to vacation. And the one guy is trying to make conversation with these 2. And he's just like, he's fucking trying to sell them appliances. It's wild.
Oh, no.
And
my God.
Meanwhile, I'm just there trying to have a good time. So we're talking, getting to know each other. They tell us about this food truck place that's like across the street that we got to check out. There's like 40 food trucks there. Sounds like a blast. And so that's really fun. So we talk for a little while and I decide, you know what? I've had enough of this hot tub. I'm going to get out. Finished my Miller Lights, got out of the hot tub, grabbed a couple more Miller Lights and hopped over onto the second hot tub, which is right beside it.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did the jacuzzi guy say, wow, this is such a whirlpool?
No. But he should have.
He should have.
That's a good joke because Whirlpool is an appliance company.
Yeah, thanks.
I get
Are
it.
these jets powered with Gen Air? Maybe.
Very cool laugh.
Maybe we could be Vikings.
Yeah, I was going to say, did the Vikings do this?
It's really hot in here. They should check their thermidor.
Gee, eats so hot.
This is Sub-Zero opposite.
Life's good, man.
Yeah.
Man, we're such fucking nerds.
So I get into the second hot tub, and there's a different couple in there that's also trying to enjoy their vacation.
There's a different set of jism.
I mean, it probably wasn't the same jism.
Oops,
That's
all
fair.
jism.
So I got in the second hot tub, and
all jism.
I skimmed it out again.
So
Oops, all jism.
It's thick.
That is a box of Captain Crunch I do not want to run into.
So these 2
Comes in a bag.
people that are in the second hot tub are old people who are very clearly trying to not look old.
So they're swingers.
She had the
Like a string
like
bikini.
very dark golden, orangey, Trumpy orange, like spray tan type look.
Oh yeah,
It's not everyone looks in Florida.
Yeah, it is a
it
Florida
is.
And he had
so they were
the-
Floridians.
Yeah, and no, they were actually from Maryland or New Hampshire, somewhere in the Northeast.
They're future Floridians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thing. Floridians in training.
yeah, and the guy has the like very, very old face, but the young, perfect white denture teeth, like the really, really nice fake teeth. Like
Nice.
he clearly paid top dollar for these fake teeth.
Love that.
Like all porcelain.
So
Just
I was talking to
veneers
them,
out the ass.
like trying to figure out why they were there. Right, we're having a conversation, and while we were at this place, there was I think it was cheerleader. I think it was a cheerleader like national competition or something like that. And these people could not have been younger than 60, like not possible. And they were talking about their high school age daughter that is in
so they had
the
a
cheerleader
whoopsie.
competition. Maybe.
That's
but-
that's definitely a whoopsie.
Yeah. Anyway, made good friends with them, and then went up to the hotel room about, I don't know, 8:15, 8:30, with a much lighter backpack.
He had 6. There were 6 left.
Yeah, out of 24, and 2 of them got drunk by those other people.
So you had 16 beers in the span of like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And Josh was trying to tell us that he wasn't that drunk.
Yeah.
That we were getting ready for dinner.
What
He's
was
like-
the giveaway?
He was like, "You guys need to catch up. You need to catch up. You can get on my level.
Yeah.
I hate it when I'm the drunk guy."
Yeah.
Man,
That's
I didn't
not what
hate
happened.
this.
Well, a little bit.
That is not what happened.
You did get back to the room and immediately make us like chug 2 beers.
You were like, "You guys here.
Wait.
You guys need to drink."
How long did it take him to get to the room?
Oh, so he said
a
that
while.
he said so. He texted us. He said, "Hey, on my way back to the room, I'll meet you there." So Rob and I meet him at his room,
And, you know,
but
we're there in like maybe 10 minutes.
we're standing outside his room for like 15 or 20 fucking minutes waiting on this jackass to get to his room.
To be fair, this place was fucking gigantic.
It was a
and
large
not all
resort.
the elevators connect.
yeah,
So if you get on the wrong elevator, you're fucked for a little while.
you're not
That's
wrong.
what happened to me.
And
But if
16 beer Josh didn't know which
No,
elevator
hang on.
he needed to get
I'll
on.
tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I was on the 4th floor, and I got on an elevator that was in my tower, and I went up to the 4th floor. Now, the elevator that I'm supposed to get on goes up to 9 floors. The elevator that I was on only goes up to 4. So I went to the top of that elevator, which was the 4th floor, but I was in the right tower, so I figured just get on the 4th floor and walk down, and it's
How
going to
hard
connect.
could it be?
So I get on the elevator, I go up to the 4th floor, I walk down the hallway in the correct direction, all the way to the fucking end, and there's this like Mr. Deeds looking fucking presidential suite right at the end of the hallway that takes up the whole fucking hallway. It had like marble doors with like lion teeth.
Damn.
And there was no getting past it.
I mean,
You couldn't get around it.
That's new details. I've not heard that part yet.
Yeah, we were just on the other end where you took like 45 minutes to go back
Yeah,
to your
so we were
room.
just waiting for you to get back to your fucking hotel room.
So I had to hightail it back to the elevator, go down to the 1st floor, and then figure out a way to get back to the other elevator. So that's what took so long.
Did you guys like check in on him?
Had
Well-
nothing to do with alcohol.
So, okay. So, actually, Corey did call him during this. And Corey, what happened on that phone call, buddy?
I said, "Hey Josh, where are you, buddy?" And he said, "I'm lost."
I don't know where the fuck I am.
I don't know what happened. I think I figured it out.
And then another 20 minutes goes by.
And then, so I called him again. He's like, "No, I got it this time. I'm coming around the corner." Then I finally see him come around the corner, and like he's walking towards his room finally.
He's fucking waddling towards his room.
Yeah, he's got this big shit-eating grin on his face. Just like, "Buddy, how much did you drink?" He goes, "I had a few."
Yeah.
And then he opens up the bag and there's 6 beers left in there. I'm like, buddy, you took a 24-pack 2 hours ago. What have you done? Like, I don't know what you're talking shit for.
Yeah. Yeah. You
guys-
motherfuckers left me.
You just need to get on my level. You get on my level.
All right, hang on. If you're listening to this right now, I need you to get in Discord at discord.gg/Appleboys or get on Twitter at AppleboysPod. Tweet at us, Discord us. Tell me if you think that I'm in the wrong here because I drank 16 beers in 2 hours, or Corey and Rob are in the wrong here because they declined my invitation after I fucking Ubered out to Walmart to get this 24-pack, wouldn't drink with me, left me to my own devices where I had to talk to fucking Cactus Jack and the and the appliance sales guru and
Sure.
ride on the slides by myself and the lazy river by myself, make new friends. Like they abandoned me. It's their fault that I got lost.
The thing that Josh doesn't mention is that throughout a day at this conference that we were at, you walk like 11 miles.
Jesus.
There's a lot of walking involved.
Fucking pussies.
And as I've mentioned before, I'm a large
Excuse my
fella.
French.
And I weigh nearly 400 pounds, and I don't do that. So I was tired,
Say so.
and I had very achy, breaky legs.
Sounds like a good reason to relax by the pool and have a couple brewskis, my man.
Or it sounds like a good reason to elevate and rest to prepare myself for the evening.
You do the rice thing.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened after I got back to the room?
We had
You
a
made us
couple
drink.
beers.
Do you not remember, or are you just asking them for the podcast?
I'm
I think
trying not
he's-
to be the only one who narrates the story.
Yeah, I think he's trying to fill in the gaps, honestly.
Yeah,
I
we
know
can
what
take over at
happened.
this
I
point.
wasn't that drunk.
So
16 beers. 2 hours.
So Rob and I, we decided that we were going to go to the sushi place. And For dinner.
So we had already been to a sushi place the night before, and we were planning to go to another sushi place 2 nights later, but they still wanted more fucking sushi.
I just wanted to try this one place.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, Rob, you want to go to the sushi place?
I can't wait for what happens next.
And he was like, you want to invite Josh? And I was like, you can if you want to.
That is what happened. I was like, we got to invite Josh. And he was like, okay.
Because I knew Josh wasn't going to want to eat there because Josh has the palate of a 6-year-old sometimes. All the time.
This part of the story is a detail that I didn't have before, and honestly, I think you were predisposed to being mad at me this night because you thought that I was going to be a problem, and you manifested that into reality.
I did not manifest it. That's
First
for
off,
sure.
If anything, if anyone was mad at you on the evening, it was definitely me.
No, it was fucking both of you.
No.
Corey and I almost fought about the Uber. Like, he almost punched me, and I was ready to punch him back.
I don't know what the fuck you're
I don't
talking
think
about.
that's true.
That's not true.
It's the Ford
but,
Fiesta.
I mean,
Is that the one where you were
Yeah,
like,
he was,
hey, can I
was
sit up
like,
front?
I'll sit in the fucking back. And Corey was like, I'm not sitting in a Ford Fiesta for anything. I'll get my own fucking Uber, you
That's right.
motherfucker.
I thought this was the
Is that what he said?
Yes, in that voice.
that's not quite
That was
there.
a direct quote.
This was so. First of all, the Uber that we took to the sushi place initially, the guy didn't let Josh sit up front.
He was a dick.
Yeah, Josh did almost fight an Uberman.
He did.
I was
So-
not in the wrong there.
Yeah, I called Rob that night.
No,
I was like,
listen.
hey, how's Orlando going?
I ordered an Uber X,
L.
which seats up to 6. And there were 5 of us. So had there been 6, someone would have had to sit up front. But there wasn't. And I tried to sit up front. And he was like, no front. I was like, it's Uber XL. Like seat 6. He's like, Uber say seat 6, seat 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, so that's not exactly how it went.
Sort of.
He
And then
went-
we fought.
He went, can I sit up front? And the Uber guy said, no, Uber. And that was it.
He's like, it's Uber, it's Uber.
No, it's Uber.
Yeah. And so Josh was already perturbed at this, and we get to the sushi place and we sit down. We got a party of 5, and one of us is boisterous.
So
I was not being unruly at the Thai place.
okay.
2 versus 1.
I like that you say these things, and then I immediately have evidence to refute such a thing.
If you're going to talk about the waitress confusion, that was not my fault.
Okay,
they did look similar.
No, they didn't.
no,
We'll
what?
get to that. We'll get to that.
Is this a Japanese restaurant?
It's
It's a-
an
it's a
Asian
sushi
fusion.
slash
It's
Thai.
Thai.
Yeah.
They
Thai
only
and
ha-
sushi.
They only have Thai hot food, and then they have sushi cold food.
I don't care about all that. You said that
They don't have
Asian people
hibachi.
look the same.
We'll get to it.
We're getting there.
You're getting
I
ahead
don't
of
worry.
the horse.
We're getting there.
No, that's not what happened.
No
It's-
rebuttal
wait,
yet. Tell the story.
You're not allowed to defend yourself just yet.
Yeah,
buddy.
not yet.
All right.
We have to get there.
So we sit down and we're looking at the beer menu, and they don't have Miller Lite on tap. To which Josh was upset because it's a Japanese place, so they had Kirin Ichiban.
And like Sapporo and like Japanese or
It's not
other
even a
Asian
fucking
stuff.
Japanese place. It's
They
a Thai
serve
place.
sushi, Josh.
Sapporo's
It's
so
kind
good.
of
Why don't you have
Japanese.
Sapporo?
Yeah.
Sapporo.
So Josh is upset. Then he picks up the menu and he's like looking through the menu, and I swear he looks at it for.
Josh just spit beer all
exploded.
over the room. Yeah.
I just remembered what happened.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
starting
exactly.
to remember what happened now.
So Josh,
Weird.
Josh looks at the menu for like 7 seconds. Like he picks it up, and it's just like, "Can we order a pizza?"
Actually, his first thing is, he's like, where's the hibachi?
They told me it was a hibachi place.
He said, no,
They told me it was a hibachi
no,
place.
no. I said
We said Japanese.
I said it's a Japanese Thai restaurant.
Which implies hibachi.
It implies sushi.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
so Josh is like, where's the hibachi? I'm like, they don't have hibachi. They have
Spit
Thai
fucking
food.
beer everywhere.
Do you need some towels?
I need,
Oh, is it bad?
yeah.
Oh, don't hit the buttons.
The buttons don't do anything. There's no SD card. for
Oh, okay.
Josh.
It's fine. It's fine.
So he's like, where's the hibachi? I'm like, there is no hibachi. They have sushi and they have Thai food. And he goes, well, I don't want to fucking eat that. Can I just order a pizza? Can I just have a pizza delivered here? I'm like, no, man, you can't.
This is not Applebee's.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I just... and he starts being all huffy puffy about it.
That's not true.
So
It is true.
So around this time, the waitress that seated us came back around and was like, "You guys ready to order?" And we were like, "Just give us 1 minute."
And Josh is
then-
like, yeah, we're trying to figure out if we want to fucking stay here or not.
I did not say
He
did
said
not.
that. He said that after she left,
I did not.
or something similar. But so another 4 or 5 minutes goes by, and I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, I know what I want to eat. And Josh is still pretty restless. But anyways,
Restless.
yeah, yeah, like he's a toddler.
So this lady who looks like she could be the identical twin
Stop.
of our waitress walks by,
You're just digging
and
a
I
giant
say,
grave.
listen, all I say is, excuse me, ma'am, I think we're ready to order. And she just keeps walking,
Yeah,
doesn't
and-
stop, doesn't say anything.
And all of us look at him and go, that's not our waitress, Josh.
So hold on. So you did not say, "Excuse me, ma'am, we're ready to order."
That's
you
exactly
said,
what went through my mind.
"Hey, whenever you're ready, we can order." So you basically said, "Hey, you're our waitress. Come order for us."
That's incredible.
Take
That's
our orders.
not that different.
To where
It is though.
it really kind of is.
Also, she was wearing a different color shirt, had her hair up, whereas our waitress had it down. Like they were very different.
So, needless to say, I put down the menu and say, we have to fucking leave. And yes, this is where my anger towards Josh started during the evening.
Yeah, as soon as everyone was like, "That's not our waitress," we were all just like, "Yeah, we're gonna go. That's enough."
So we put down our menus and stuff, and our waitress is sitting down like wrapping silverware or something like that. And she like kind of looks at us and goes, "Are you guys leaving?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm really sorry." No, and she's like smiles and says, "No problem, goodbye." She's like, "Thank fucking Christ I didn't have to serve these guys."
yeah.
What is wrong with you all?
And then we went to the food truck place.
Then we
It
went
was
to the
actually-
food truck
It was
place.
actually pretty good.
It was. It was pretty solid. Josh disappeared almost immediately to go to the bathroom.
Josh found his pizza.
Josh
What?
found a pizza
I
place.
thought you just found the beer garden.
Josh found the one pizza place in like a sea of Mexican.
Yeah,
food
it's
trucks,
just
by the
nothing
way.
but like Dominican, Puerto
have
Rican, and Mexican food truck stuff, and there's like one pizza truck.
Yeah.
There were actually 2 pizza trucks. I found them both. I picked the best one.
Josh said that it was the best slice of pizza he's had in his life.
I said one of.
No, that's.
He was that drunk, huh?
Oh, maybe you did.
I did say one of.
Either
the
way,
best.
you did.
And I
really enjoyed.
I maintained. I ordered a second one. It was an $8 slice of pizza that was bigger than my fucking something big on me.
your head.
Yeah,
All right.
and
Wow.
I ordered a second one. It was really good.
As big as something big on me.
That's fine.
But then we're getting ready to go back to the hotel. And we're standing on the corner, and Josh is trying to order an Uber. He orders a Honda Pilot initially, which is probably fine. But it's taking a little while to come in, so he ends up canceling it. He orders another one, and he goes, "Hey, can we all fit in a Ford Fiesta?" And I said, "Fuck no, we can't all fit in a Ford Fiesta."
Yeah.
And he was like, "What do you mean? One person sits up front, 2 people in the back." I'm like, "Do you know what a Ford Fiesta is? It's like a small little... No. Like, we can't all fit." He's like, "Well, you can sit up front." Like, no, you don't understand. We don't fit. It's not made for people like us.
The car will not go.
Like, no.
For the record, I still think we would have fit in the Ford Fiesta.
Well,
and I don't think that you
I don't
should have
know
been so
about that.
angry
It's
about
a
it.
moot point.
It's clearly not because we're talking about it.
Moot.
But anyways, long story short, we all got back to the hotel room safe and sound, and it was
We did.
good to go.
There was another night we were going to record, and then something happened. We did NFL draft, right?
Yeah, that was the draft.
And then we were supposed to go back and record, and then afterwards, I went back.
Yeah, we went to a drag show.
Yeah, the two of you went to a drag show
Yeah.
Yep, we went to a drag show.
Why'd you miss out on that?
because I'm responsible, Jimmy.
What do you mean? That's
Obviously,
not true at all.
from the story that he just told where he drank 16 beers in 2 hours.
Yeah, reference day 1, bro.
That was not day 1. That was day 2, motherfucker. Had to get my feet wet on day 1.
But we went to the drag show at this bar, and we had a great time.
Nice.
Yeah, and it went till like 2 a.m.
Hell yeah.
Yep. What did we have going on the next day, boys?
That was
Disney.
Yeah, that was the end of the conference, and we went to Disney.
Yeah. So you guys were pretty irresponsible the night before Disney, huh?
Man, it's maybe just a tad.
Were you guys feeling good at Disney? Feel good about the
I
the
see
trip?
why Rob was so tired and irritable.
I felt strong at Disney.
That's not true at all.
You did not feel strong at Disney. You did not look strong at Disney. There was nothing strong about you at Disney.
Yeah, I wasn't even there. I just talked to you on the phone and was like, "Ooh, Rob's down bad."
I was
Yeah.
I was a little hungover.
He was more than a little hungover. I think he was not having a good time. Is
So
the
we
best
were-
way to put it.
We were drinking around the world, and we're in England at the Crown and Goose,
That's the most Josh sentence I've ever heard.
and
Yeah,
we got 4 beers on the table, 2 for me, 1 for each of Rob and Corey. That's the way we roll. I had a black and tan, and then we all had a
Smittix.
not to be confused with a Smithwick's.
Well,
for you.
those are-
I actually
Thanks.
confused the black and what?
Black and tan.
I confused that with black and mild and thought you just had a bunch of cigs.
Oh, well then.
Cigarillos.
That's how they do it over in London.
Yeah, London. You sound like you're from London. So we got the beers on the table, and Rob is like swaying back and forth. His eyes are like rolling in the back of his head. He looks like he's about to pass out on his feet.
He is just sweating.
Yeah. And so Corey and I are like, Rob, you're banished back to Canada,
They did kick me back to Canada.
and we'll come check on you soon.
So before you say the rest of that, Rob, I think I called Rob just to get an update on how the trip is going. He was like, "Well, they told me to go over here to fucking Canada, and now they're telling me, like, after I've been here for like 45 minutes, they're in fucking France."
I was upset about that because you guys got in line for the Ratatouille ride without me, and I told you to wait for me.
No, you didn't tell me to wait for you. You said that you didn't know if you were going to make it.
That is not what I said.
Yes, it is.
That's like verbatim what you said.
I just want to point out that someone
My
who
memory's
hasn't
a
been
little hazy.
So I also told you that we have an opportunity to get you into the line, and we all would have been in the same fucking rat, so it wouldn't have even cost anybody a spot. Like, we would have shared the same fucking rat. Nobody would have lost a spot.
I felt bad.
Well,
I
you're
don't-
bigger than everyone else.
Well, the line jumping stuff, it makes
It's
me
not line
uncomfortable.
jumping. It's
It's
line, like,
Sliding?
frumping.
Oh,
frumping.
Frumping. That's a interesting verb.
That's like it's like one of those like curse words that you say in front of kids.
I think it's one of those...
Your
when I
mommy
think-
and I were frumping.
Yeah, I frumped your mom last.
When I think of frumping, I think of frumpy. And when I think of frumpy, I think of like
Like a front butt.
a slightly overweight librarian.
I was just about to say
Oh.
the elementary school librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's frumpy.
All right,
Like pleasantly plump.
So I want to say,
nice.
I think that Josh and
Pear-shaped.
I waiting to get onto the Ratatouille ride.
That was the worst part of the whole trip.
That was one, the worst part of the whole trip, and then two, I think it really killed our momentum
Yeah.
for drinking around the world. Because afterwards, I was just trying to play catch up, and it was just not happening.
Yeah.
I will say though, big fan of Left Eye Lopez.
I know what you mean.
He knows what I mean.
Nice.
I certainly don't know what that means.
We're not going to expand on it.
No, we're not.
We're going to leave that to your imagination.
So, anyways, while they're in France, I'm eating poutine in Canada, and I am becoming invigorated.
I am invigorated.
And then after that, I was pretty much fine. But before that, what we didn't mention earlier is we were at the conference, and we were in it was a big public speaking kind of thing, kind of towards the end of it, and we do our little like meeting kind of subsection after that. And as soon as we get into this meeting part, I transition from still drunk, which I did not realize, to incredibly hungover almost instantly. And that is so unpleasant.
It is jarring.
Very jarring. But then the recovery happened in France, and by Morocco, I was back in it, buddy.
But after we finished the Ratatouille ride, like I said, I was just trying to play catch up. So I just started ordering liquor drinks at every one of the stands that we went to,
man.
just trying to get back onto it.
How does that? What?
Corey went fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, Corey was having a good time.
I was trying hard to get, because like if you get drunk and you just stay drunk, you
You're
can drink
fine.
all day, buddy.
Yeah.
But if you
I just
get
fall
drunk,
asleep.
If you let it wear
yeah,
off,
if you get drunk and then you like let it wear off, like you get real like
Yeah.
there is a
muy cansada.
there's
you
a
know?
range though that you need to stay. There's a pocket that you got to get.
Yeah.
Because if you get too fucked up,
Yeah, then you're
you
done.
can't
You can't
you
function.
can't function.
Yeah.
You guys really sound like alcoholics.
But if you get too
gotta stay in the perfect drunk
sober,
pocket.
you got to stay in the drunk pocket. And
Yeah,
the
this is
mistake for
bad.
me was in Morocco. Actually, thank you for bringing that up, Rob. Went back into the back alleyway in Morocco where Aladdin and Jasmine like to go when
That's
they're getting their freaky deaky on.
Yeah, the characters are really into it. Did you guys see them? They
Yeah.
were like acting that out live.
I'm back in Morocco, and by the way, we're there during the Flower and Garden Festival, so they have all these booths set up and all these special treats and snacks and drinks and things like that. And in Morocco, they have sangria, and you can get white sangria or you can get red sangria. I opted for red, but you can only order it as a drink for two portion. So they poured me like 20 ounces of this delicious red sangria. It was really sweet, but too much of it. And I didn't want to waste it because everything at Disney is really expensive. So I paid like $26 for it or something. So I drank it. And after that, I was like pretty much done.
Yeah, at France, I got the what was it, like the lemon? Did I get the lemon one?
Limoncello.
You got the lemon.
Yeah, I got the lemon
the
one.
limoncello one.
They had like a lemon
That was good.
freeze daiquiri thing.
No, limoncello is Italy. You got like the citrus. Whatever.
I don't know. It had
Citrus vodka
Grey
thing.
Goose lemon in it.
Oh,
delicious.
Citron.
wasn't
That's
no,
what it
that was
was.
France.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. It's
Yeah,
France.
yeah. Yeah, you got
So-
the double shot.
That's what I was getting there.
I'm sorry. I just realized what you're talking about. You got fucked.
So they have a they pour it out in like this little martini glass thing, right? And like for an extra, I think it's like $4 or something like that. You can say like, hey, make it Giante or whatever the fuck giant is in France. And
Bambino opposite.
yeah, basically. And I treated the guy like a human at the Disney thing. And apparently if you do that, buddy, they hook you up. And the guy who poured me not just one shot, but probably 2 shots on top of my thing. And
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, I need to clear that off. Oh God, it's still going. Oh, that's straight vodka.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
so I was doing I was trying to share with everyone because I was like, I really don't need to be like drinking like my own drink at every drink station.
Right, because you still could barely walk.
I was fine by France.
Okay, buddy.
It wasn't at a barely walking level.
No, he was. I mean, Canada and England, he could barely walk. He was
Canada and England was pretty rough. By France, I was okay.
He was not having a good time. But yeah, I had that thing, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's good. And we got like to Morocco, and I was like, all right, here we go. Or was that Italy next? No, Italy was later.
No, Italy was later. Yeah, I think it was Morocco.
So and then we got to Morocco, and I was like, all right, here we go. I'm going to get another drink. And we went to get another drink, and I got the Moroccan Mule, which had like, was it fig vodka
It
or
was
something?
fig infused vodka. Yeah, that
It
shit
was
good.
so fucking good. Oh my God. I could have had like 10 of those and been happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had like 2 liquor drinks in me at that point. Really like 4 liquor drinks if you count the double shot of vodka that I had on top of the one I got in France. And I was feeling pretty good again. And then we got to Germany, and Josh had to get these, what was it, the butter bar thing?
Those were
the
delicious.
They
butter
are
bar.
delicious.
Yeah, so the butter bars were really good. Unfortunately, they were out of like anything that I would really want from Germany except for the Spätlese, the late harvest Riesling, which I did like
Spätlese.
very much. But we skipped past Japan because it was busy as fuck, and we skipped past America because who goes to?
We're already in America.
Yeah, we're
so
already there.
We don't
But
we don't need that.
so I was digging America because as we're walking past, there's like this big amphitheater kind of deal.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
And I'm like, music of Berlin. Well, that's weird. This is supposed to be America, which in my head was really funny. But as we're going past, all of a sudden, like the opening notes to, I think it was Metro is what they played first to open up the thing. But it was at like Berlin, like the actual band.
Yeah, like the Take My Breath Away people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take my breath away.
We could hear it in the distance as we were walking through whatever fucking country we were going through.
Okay.
So at this point, I was like, that's actually fucking Berlin. I'm going to chill here.
Yeah.
And then they were
Josh-
like, we got to go.
Josh was like, yeah, man, Disney go hard.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we
you
kept
did say that.
walking.
Yeah, and then we kept walking. I was like, but Berlin. I was fucking vibing, but they were like, no, we got to go.
I would have liked to have seen Take My Breath Away. That would have been cool. But
Sorry, bud.
we had things to do, places to be.
Well, we hit all the highlights of Epcot, and I know that you guys didn't have the best time in the world, but we were able to do Spaceship Earth, which is the big golf ball in the sky. And we did Finding Nemo and Friends.
That's such a dumb ride.
We got to see
We got to see the manatees at the,
The
end.
manatees.
Sure, that was cool. The aquarium part of it's neat. It's like Disney was.
You don't
like,
get to the aquarium unless
I'm
you
aware.
ride through the ride.
I get that, and I was just about to say it's like Disney was just like, hey, we want to put an aquarium in Epcot.
Let's make a Finding Nemo ride.
How are we gonna make this?
Imagine
Do we
that
have
Finding
anything
Nemo
with
ride
fish?
if you were like 4.
Yeah, it would make no sense to me because
Yeah,
it
that
had
shit was
it didn't follow the storyline at all.
I like
You don't follow storylines when you're 4. It's just like, is that cool or not? Yeah, it's fucking cool. Shut the fuck up, Corey.
I like that.
Suspension of disbelief. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So then after that, we did Soarin', which is awesome.
Which
I was not
apparently-
sure if Rob was going to make it through Soarin'.
Yeah, he was.
He was rough
He
right then
was-
because this
yeah,
is
that
way
was-
before we got even to England or France or
that was
anybody.
like peak hangover Rob.
Yeah, this was so we went to the little cafeteria place first to get a little snack, and first of all, I got the party started with some White Claw, and I don't drink White Claw ever. I don't know why. I ordered like 2 or 3 black cherry White Claws.
Yeah, you got
What?
like 2 White Claw tall boys.
Yeah,
that you
and
brought
I
next
don't
to
I don't
the
drink
worst
White Claw,
flavor.
and I don't like black cherry. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was thinking, but I drank them. But we're sitting there just having a little snack, a little White Claw, and Rob's like, all right, I'm going to the bathroom. And Corey and I are sitting there, and we're like, all right, Soren's like a 30 or 40-minute wait. That's about as low as it's ever going to get, so let's do Soren. Might have to do it without Rob. Like, he might have to lay on this bench. And Rob has gone to the bathroom for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's at least a solid 20 minutes. 40 minutes might be an exaggeration.
It was a long time.
But he was clearly pooping.
It was long enough to where I was concerned that he might have actually passed out in a stall.
Oh my God.
I was really not that bad off.
Yes, you were.
So I'm not gonna lie, like I legitimately thought that I had like from breakfast, I had like eaten something that like was bad. Like I felt like I was gonna throw up so strongly.
Oh man.
I did not realize that it was just you're like really hungover until
The other thing he didn't realize is that he hadn't eaten breakfast.
Yeah.
I did too.
No, I don't think you did, buddy.
I was there.
I did. I
You
got
had,
there. I got there before you.
4 bites.
I had like a full fucking croissant. Anyways, it's fine.
Croissant.
I had a croissant. But no, I like really thought that I ate something bad at breakfast, and then I realized when we hit France, like, oh no, we're in recovery mode now. I was just hungover. Got it. But then I was pretty okay after that.
But we did Soren, and while we're in line,
Yeah.
Rob is like reading the warnings, and he's like, "I don't know, boys, I might not be able to do this one."
What?
We're like, "What's going on, buddy?" He's like, "I feel like I'm pretty prone to motion sickness right now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was
looking
not
at-
that hungover.
man, if you're in that state, you don't know until you're out of it, okay?
Whenever
until like a pressing situation presents itself in front of you, and he's like, "You know what? Maybe I'm not ready for this."
Whenever he started talking like that, I strategically positioned myself in front of Corey, in between. Like Corey was in between me and Rob, because I wanted to make sure that when we get on the ride, it's me, then Corey, then Rob.
Yeah, good plan.
That was all on purpose.
At one point, you actually were like, "Hey, you need to get in front of me." I was like, "Okay, buddy,"
So
because if he throws up, I'm going to throw up.
Right.
That's not why. I'm not a sympathetic puker. I just didn't want to get puke on me.
A sympathetic puker.
that's a real thing.
It is.
I know it is, but like,
Actually, I can prove that I'm not a sympathetic puker, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
So
Oh yeah, that's a
on-
good story.
on the Soren,
On the Soren.
I was like, as soon as it I was worried when it started because it kind of like lifts you up, and
It's like you take off, you know?
yeah, I mean you do take off, like
You do be soaring.
you all of a sudden are dangling, and I was like, but I was fine, and I was having a great time, and then we got to this like safari part of it, and during the safari part, it's like very realistic, like
They puff you with some sense.
Yeah, they give you scents, and it's like this like fresh cut grass, but it tastes very artificial. And by taste, I mean smell.
huh?
But some did like go into my mouth.
Oh,
Like I just happened to be like, like right as the scent atomizer.
I wish you guys listening could have seen Rob's face just now. It was very, very great.
Opposite.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this tastes good. Opposite. And now Corey's gonna get wet.
Luckily, he didn't.
I get
No,
it without
I was
even
good.
trying.
And then,
True.
so after Soren, we did Figment's Imagination, which is like a horrible ride, but we did it. Then Corey and I did Ratatouille, and we did the Three Caballeros. So
Yeah.
we skipped Frozen because the line was too long. Skipped all the bullshit that doesn't matter. We skipped all the like Mars make you puke ride. Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't open yet.
Test track we didn't do.
We didn't do
'cause
test
it was too
track.
close to closing.
Yeah. We also missed the closing show, which is a little bit disappointing, but by that time you guys were like fucking done.
So we went to the big gift shop, and Robert and I spent like 10 minutes maybe in there.
I'm not gonna lie, this was my absolute least favorite part of the entire experience.
So we find our things that we're going to buy. We get in line. We buy them. Josh is still looking around.
I had to shop for like 5 people.
So he's looking around, and we're like, "Hey, buddy, we'll be outside." He's like, "Okay, cool." Robert and I find a bench. We go sit on this bench. We sit on the bench for 20 minutes. And then I try and call Josh. He doesn't pick up. He eventually calls me back. And he's like, hey, I'm almost done. I'm like, okay, cool. We're on this bench. Another 30 minutes goes by. Josh then texts me and says, I had to order everything shipped to home. I'll be out momentarily.
So that's a gross exaggeration.
It's really not.
It was not 50 minutes because I know how close we were to the fireworks, and I know how close we were to the bus arrival. It was not 50 minutes. It was a long time. I'll give you that. It was definitely more than half an hour. It was closer to half an hour than 50 minutes.
It was at minimum 40 minutes.
That's halfway.
Between 30 and 40.
I don't know. Okay. You just really have to win, huh?
He does.
We were halfway. We were agreeable at a 40-minute point, and then you just had to just bend it a little bit, didn't you?
I'm very vehemently confident.
Robert and I are ready to
I didn't ask you guys to wait. And the bus wouldn't have gotten there any earlier if we had gone earlier.
Yeah.
So
in my mind, you had told me that the shuttle was going to be there at 9:15.
Right.
That's
what was on my list.
I didn't know where the bus was. So I assumed that we had quite a trek ahead of us.
Yep.
And I know the pace that I was willing to walk at that point, which was not the pace that was going to get us to the bus on time. So we thought.
So I know that you knew when the bus was going to be there, and I know you didn't know where the bus was going to meet us, and you needed me for that. But you knew where the exit of the fucking park was.
Correct.
You could have picked a bench close to the exit.
But then how would you find us?
Yeah, it's a good call. You weren't
Technology,
answering your phone.
buddy.
Okay. But anyway, so we thought we were leaving, and then Josh is like, nope, got to buy these pins.
Yep.
And both me and Corey are like, what the fuck is a pin?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
And so we go into the pin store. Like, the
pin store was as angering for me as it was for anyone else. Because this guy that I know knew that I was going to Disney, and he said, can you get me a pin while you're there? And I said, yeah, buddy, sure. So he gives me this like prepaid credit card. Doesn't tell me how much is on it. And
who does that? How old are they?
I assumed it was enough to cover what I needed, and I would just give him the card back with some change on it. So I go to buy his pin. It's like $18 plus tax. And I try to run the card, and it doesn't work. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I call the bank to find out how much is left on the card. And they want to know all this bullshit that I don't know. Like, what's the billing address and billing zip code and the phone number on file? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a fucking prepaid card. I don't know. And so I have to go through this whole, like, Dr. House investigation to find out whether it's lupus or not, to find out what the fucking balance is on this card.
Oh, my God.
And turns out it's like $5.31. This dude's been to Disney before, so he knows that these pins cost more than that.
Yeah, literally nothing costs $5 at Disney.
And like a Monster Energy drink is like $5.50 pre-tax.
Right.
But the card wouldn't have even fucking covered that. So I'm like, whatever.
Speaking of which, really quick, I during my Canadian experience, I went to get 2 bottles of water because I was like, I need to hydrate. This is the issue. And I was like, I handed him a 20, and he's like, it's $22.
Oh my
for 2
God.
bottles of water. And I was like, okay, here's my card.
Hey, so
man.
Disney trick, you can get
Cups
free
of
water
water.
all over the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
They can't
And
deny
it's all
you,
filtered.
They can't deny you a basic human need.
Yeah, because you would die.
Yeah.
true.
So I end up paying for the pin like $5.19 or whatever on his prepaid card. I pay for the rest. I'm going to charge him when I get back with interest. But now I'm fucking stressed out because that took way longer than I expected. And now we're running late to get to this bus. And I'm like, do you guys want me to just fucking buy an Uber? And Corey's like, no, if we can make it to the bus, we make it to the bus. So I'm like dealing with the second night of Corey being very angry at me and wanting to fight me. And I'm like, I have a pretty long gait anyway. Like I walk fast regardless because I have long strides and I tend to walk fast. So Corey was already complaining like at my normal pace earlier. And now I'm like power walking and trying to get this bus. Like almost jogging.
With a soft J.
It's a soft J.
So not quite jogging.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's soft J.
I believe it's French.
What is that? What's jogging?
Yeah. It's jogging.
I've only heard of yogging.
Sorry.
All right, so we're like booking it to get to this bus because we're worried we're gonna miss it at 9:15, and we get there at like 9:16, like to the like spot where the bus is, but we were in view of it by like 9:14, and I never saw the bus. So we get there, and I'm like, fuck, I really hope we didn't miss it. So I call the hotel, and I'm like, hey, the little shuttle tram thing is supposed to be here at 9:15. We got here at 9:14. I don't see it. Like, can you check and see if it left? And the guy's like, no, it's a third party. We can't see any of that. So if it said it was going to be 9:15, give him a few minutes. He'll be there. Like, they always wait at least 5 minutes after. So,
By the way, not true.
we're bummed out because at this point it's like 9:23 and the thing's still not here, and we've definitely missed it, right? And so I decided to check the little card thing that the concierge gave us, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, my bad. It's actually 9:30. So, like, we were saved by my ignorance. And so the guy pulls up at like
9:29.
9:29, 9:30, opens the door, like barely gives us a chance to get on the bus, and like he doesn't even have the door fully closed before he's like booking it out of there. So the whole waiting 5 or 10 minutes, fuck no. Like if we hadn't been there, that bus was gone without us.
So we then had to go to each one. Apparently this shuttle hits every one of the parks.
So we didn't know that.
So
we thought it just took us straight back.
We're like sitting there and I'm like, man, we've been on the bus for a long time.
And then we stopped
and then
at a
like,
second
and
park.
then it's like parking. And I'm like, wait a minute.
What the fuck?
What is
we should have taken
this?
a fucking
Yeah,
Uber.
we should have taken the goddamn Uber.
Yeah, it did take us. We were probably 10 minutes away from Disney, somewhere 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it probably took us about an hour to get back.
Oh my god.
So he, in every one of the parks that he stopped at, like the dude like comes to a rolling stop, kind of opens the door, closes it, and takes off. Like doesn't really give anyone, like if anyone's like kind of in the vicinity, he like opens the door, is like, hey, you coming to this hotel? And they're like, no. You're like, all right, cool. Closes the door, takes off.
It was incredible. Like he was like, I'm fucking done with
He's
this.
like,
I gotta go.
this is my last fucking. This is the last one of the day.
This is my last fucking.
I am so done with this.
oh my god.
I'm ready to fucking get the fuck out. And you know, we talked about Disney in its entirety basically, but we left out a really important detail.
What's that?
Remember between France and Morocco, where the lady got hit by the
Oh my
scooter?
god.
What?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's absolutely something we need to talk about. That was amazing.
So we pull up, and I had my little France vodka drink, right? And I went to another stand and got something else. I don't remember what it was.
This so now that I think about it, this was the turning point. Like I was still like kind of fuzzy after
this-
France, and then this happened, and I was like,
I am invigorated.
I'm ready to drink in Morocco.
So I went to some little stand thing and got these like shitty corn tortilla things that had like, one of them had chorizo on it, which I love chorizo, but it was like not good chorizo. So
Oh man.
I was pretty disappointed. And the other one just had like melted cheese,
Yeah.
which was fine, I guess, but it was just real bland. So I was not happy with my like $75 purchase of these things.
Makes sense.
And I got some kind of a drink. I don't remember what it was. It was
Uh,
some sort of a citrus. It was kind of pink in color.
Yeah.
But we walk over to this little table thing. They have like these standing tables, and eating and drinking. We're having a good time. And all of a sudden we hear, "Fuck you, bitch!"
Yeah.
We're like, "What is going on?"
Whoa.
And like we
So-
turn, and there is a situation.
So the situation was essentially that this so we turn around and there's a woman in like one of those scooter things, like
Yeah.
the scooter rider deals.
Right. Scooter rider deals.
Yeah. And
A rascal, you
and
know.
there's a lady that is standing above her, like just screaming and flailing her arms about, and I'm just like locked in on this. Like,
I would be too.
yeah, I'm like, well, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And we've got people coming out of nowhere that are like walking up, like,
They're like, hey, what's going on?
what's happening?
It's like when you hear the car crash outside your neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's the Dan
yeah.
Cook thing. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, did you guys hear something?
Did you guys get the crash? No, I didn't have time to get shoes. Yeah, no, that's what happened to us, but with other people that would just come up and like, what happened?
We're
Is
like,
everyone okay? And
from
we're
what we
like,
can
Who's
piece
your money
together-
on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what we
Yeah.
can piece together, I think that lady hit that lady with her rascal and she is pissed.
Yeah. And then Father Time the Rent-A-Cop is like strolling over like, what seems to be the problem?
He's doing nothing to de-escalate
Not a
the
goddamn thing.
situation.
He's
He's actually
smiling.
laughing.
Yeah, he's just
He's
laughing
having
and
a
shit.
great old time. While
He's
these
like,
two
man,
women.
I'm here at the happiest place on earth, and these bitches are just going nuts.
Yeah, like screaming at each other, and there's like kids walking around, and you just hear "fuck you, bitch," and it's just like,
And also, like, one of the people who was commenting on the fight was this, like, slightly uncomfortably attractive custodial person from Disney. Like, she was literally pulling trash bags out of trash cans, and she was low-key, like, pretty hot. And she was
Important note.
like, they're just spreading some magic.
No shit.
So-
Did she actually say that?
yeah,
Because I looked at her, I was like, so what do you think of this? She's like, just having a magical day.
yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
And I didn't mention this at the time. She was an absolute dead ringer for this girl that I dated in high school. And I was like, there's no fucking chance that this is the same. And I looked down at the name tag and I was like, oh, thank God. But
Oh wow.
yeah, it's
So the lady that was in the rascal eventually gets up out of the
And
rascal
she's, like, fucking dancing
and is
around.
just like, is just fine.
She's imitating the lady who she hit. And she's like literally prancing. Like if you imagine if you're in a football practice and you're doing the high knees through the tires, that's what she's doing with no tires. Like the high knees.
But she has a
It's
rascal
always-
to navigate Disney. And the other group was like, do you even need the cart? She's like, you don't know what my fucking handicap is?
she said,
Don't
are you questioning my need to ride in a scooter?
And she was
she's
like, yes,
you're
I
fucking
am,
right. You're fucking right. I'm questioning you, bitch.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it was like it was getting intense.
It was, and then she eventually just gets on the scooter and rides away.
and she like
no.
peeled out.
The best part. So she peels out. She rides into the sunset.
Why didn't no one video this?
I have a picture that I'll post in the show notes. So she's riding off into the sunset. The Rent-A-Cop, Disney security guy, and the 3 generations of Karens that were complaining are like following after. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this fucking fleet
It's like
of
5
scooters
rascals out of
just
nowhere.
comes out of nowhere.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
it was like the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, and they were like-
Disney edition.
they were riding alongside this harem of Karens, and
It was
the
incredible.
harem of Karen.
yeah. And they were like antagonizing them. They were like driving back and forth. They were fucking
Honking the horn and
Yeah.
shit.
They were like doing figure 8s in
Yeah.
between.
Hey, future Josh, can you please name the future podcast name?
Harem of
Wheelchairs of Anarchy.
wheelchairs. We've got a lot of content. We
Who
could use.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
You'll be listening back to this like, maybe this one.
But yeah, I can't believe we went through the whole Disney trip and forgot to mention that. So
Yeah.
sorry about that.
I forgot about
But,
the harem of Karens and the Sons of Anarchy Disney edition.
No, that was the climax of the trip for sure.
I
Well,
love that.
So
It was like waking up from a dream for me.
there
Snap
were
back to reality.
Yeah.
there were some very interesting parts of the flights, both on the way there and on the way back for me. On the way there, one of the most interesting things was this old lady who we were trying to take off, and we were at the point where it's like you should be buckled, sat down, like we're about to hit the throttle and go. And this lady's like frantically pushing her call attendant button.
What?
Like, I need someone here ASAP. And she's like waving her hands in the air, trying to get attention. And
Oh,
so the
God.
flight attendant's like making her way back thinking there's an emergency. And she gets back there and the lady's like, I think I put it in airplane mode, but I can't be sure. And I just would feel so much better if you could help me get my bag down so I can check.
That's not fucking real.
Why would I make this shit up?
Like, I just can't believe
hold
that.
on.
No one's that stupid.
So she gets the lady's like 85 years old.
Oh, God.
So the flight attendant gets the bag down and she's like shuffling around. She's like, I left the phone in the top so it'll be easy to find. So she opens the bag and she's like shuffling around and there's no fucking phone to be found. Like she can't find it. And the flight attendant's trying to be polite and nice. And she's like, yeah, that always happens. You leave it up top and then it falls into the bottom and nobody can find it. And so anyway, she eventually finds the phone. Turns out it wasn't in airplane mode. So thank God she called the flight attendant. Otherwise we might have crashed.
No one puts that shit in
on
airplane
our
mode
35-minute puddle jumper from...
I absolutely do.
I do not.
I do also.
I put mine in airplane mode.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're the asshole here.
I would feel really stupid if the plane did crash and my shit wasn't in airplane mode.
And
it's not a thing anymore, though.
And like it traced it back to my phone.
Yeah, the little block back.
I don't care about the trace back. I just want to know that I didn't accidentally kill myself.
So the studies over the past 10 years have showed that it doesn't.
Don't get scientific.
5G does, though, and I'm not kidding.
All right. So the lady gets her plane in airplane mode.
Mrs. Claus.
Crisis averted. The trip is saved. The bag goes back up. The flight attendant barely gets back into the seat in time for us to take off. We're in the air. And like 5 minutes later, I look forward. And the lady's like 2 rows in front of me. And she's reading a newspaper. And I'm looking at it. And she is focused. Like I can tell.
Like an actual newspaper?
Yeah, like a paper newspaper.
Wow, they make those still?
Yeah. And I can tell from where I'm sitting, based on her head positioning and how long she's been looking, I can tell exactly what article she's reading. Because there's like these little side things, and there's this big article. And she's been on it long enough where she's definitely reading this big article. And it's a full fucking article about NWA. So great. I loved it. So that was one of the things that happened on the way over there. Also, another thing that happened that really, really bothered me is this guy that was like to the left of her, like also about 2 rows in front of me, was messing with his alarms on his iPhone.
What?
Dude had like an alarm for every minute of the day that he was like scrolling through. He must have had 200 alarms.
What?
Really bothered me.
Some psycho shit.
Like instead of adjusting the alarm to the time you need, he had
You just create a new one.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Oh fuck!
Yeah, that was a lot.
I'm gonna throw up.
It was so bad.
So many alarms.
Anyway, on the way back, directly across from me to my left, I'm on an aisle seat. She's on an aisle seat. There's a pregnant lady, and she's like deep into the pregnancy, probably 3rd trimester. And when we're planing, I know you deplane. So do you plane?
You bored.
Yeah, that.
Plane.
Do you
When we're
play?
planing.
Time to plane.
Time to plane.
If you are in
We are going to begin pre-planing.
Group 4, time to plane.
Those who need a little extra help, you may plane.
Oh my god.
Parents with children and car seats, plane now.
We would like to invite all active military personnel to plane.
Thank you for your service. Time to plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for making me feel stupid.
That was an extended moment too.
I like that.
We'd like to go ahead and welcome our first class. Time to plane.
All right, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got planed before she did. And there's a flight attendant. There always is on any plane of any sort of size. There's a flight attendant that starts in the back. And while people are planing, she or he are trying to make their way up front, like a fish swimming upstream. And so the flight attendant and the pregnant lady like meet, and the flight attendant's trying to get past the pregnant lady and seems to be unawares that the pregnant lady is pregnant, because she's like trying to like just squeeze on in there. And the pregnant lady like loudly says, sorry, would suck it in if I could, but I can't. So,
Wow.
So she sits down. She's
like a
beside
Skylar
me.
White sort of situation.
It's not a long flight. It's 45 minutes or so. And through most of the flight, everything seems okay. But we get toward the end, and we go through some clouds, and it's a little bumpy. And I wasn't paying attention to her, but like I had a like spidey sense tingly thing where I like looked over, and there's a look of sheer terror and panic on her face. And she's like frantically going through her little pocket in front of her and not finding what she's looking for. So she starts looking around, and she asks the people behind her for something. I couldn't make out what she was asking for. And they like hand her a bag, and it's the little vomit bag. So we're like in descent mode to go down. The plane's real bumpy. We're ready to deplane.
Yeah.
And she starts like violently vomiting into this bag. And she's like 2 feet from me. And
That happened to me one time on this podcast.
If I were a sympathetic puker,
it would have happened.
It would have happened. And I did not puke,
So I have two addendums to that. So one, have you guys ever been on a plane where like a person in the vicinity from you is like pumping like breast milk?
No pumping. No.
That happened to me on the way here.
Are you sexualizing breast milk?
It was just very confusing to me. I was like, why the fuck are you doing this right now? Like,
you have a schedule.
Baby,
they get full, and if you don't pump on time, you can't pump enough.
And then like it gets...
That's a real thing.
And it gets infected, and it's a bad thing.
Baby hungry.
Either way, it was just very odd.
That's a real thing.
Okay.
And also, like, you do it when you can because you have a child, and
the kid wasn't with her.
Yeah, so like she's doing it when she can.
Oh, okay.
So like you can only fill to a certain capacity, and then you can't fill anymore. And it starts to become very painful, and also you start to produce less. So like women who work full time who are breastfeeding have to stop every 2 or 3 hours of work to pump. Otherwise they will not make enough breast milk for their child. So it's likely that on this airplane, they were in the time frame where they had to pump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think she'd have like a blanket or something involved, though.
Nope. Not in 2022.
Nope. Just whip it out. Second addendum is, so I've been that guy that's been like sick on an airplane before. And I was also frantically looking for the bag. This one time, it was very turbulent, and I was going from Vegas to Florida, and there was like thunderstorms and shit. So I'm like, oh fuck, not a good time. I'm gonna throw up. And I go to grab the bag because I'm like, I've seen these bags before. I know what they're for. I got it. So I grab the bag, go to open it. Someone put their fucking gum in the bag, threw up all over the seat in front of me. I tried to open it, and I was like, oh fuck, and just everywhere.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I couldn't do any like the
sabotage.
Yeah, I got sabotaged.
Were you beside somebody?
No, it was no. So I was in the window seat. There was a very Japanese man in the aisle seat, and I'm not gonna do the imitation, but he was upset.
Please do the imitation.
No.
Please.
He like this. I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16. I was a giant 15 or 16-year-old, but still I was like kind of a kid at the time. And I'm like opening the bag, nothing's happening, and then I just and he goes, oh, what the fuck? And immediately like stands up and like punches the fucking flight attendant button. He like hit it
KG
with
style?
force. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Oh man, that's good.
He fucking Shoryukened the fucking flight attendant.
Shoryuken.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else we need to say about the Orlando trip?
I mean, my flight back, I had a window seat on one of them, and another guy, it was smaller than me, but I mean, he was also a larger fella, sat in the aisle seat, and then a lady sat in between us.
Oh no,
And
this happened to me one time.
she like buckles up
I
and
was in
is
the middle.
starting to talk and stuff, and she's like, hey, how you guys doing? How was your trips? And blah blah blah. Was it business or pleasure? Blah 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 blah. And she like puts her feet up on the seat in front of her, and then she makes the comment. She's like, you guys make me feel so little. I'm like, you make me feel so fucking fat. You could put your feet up in a coach? Like, get the fuck out of here. And she's like, well, I'm like 5'8", so in my group of friends, I'm always like the really big one. But like, you guys just make me feel so little. And then she just like puts her head on my shoulder. I'm like, you stop that.
What?
Take your head away.
That's fantastic.
But then the guy on the aisle seat was like trying to like mac on her.
Oh,
And was like, hey, so I got a layover in Atlanta. You want to get some coffee? Could you go for coffee? She's like, no, I got to make my next flight. Like, she shut it down
Nice.
I like that.
professionally.
Shut it down.
Good.
Yes.
All right. Well, this has been the episode that you should have gotten while we were in Orlando, but we weren't
sorry.
able to record it. But you got
Honestly,
some extra stuff because of the flight back.
and honestly, you're welcome, because that would not have been
Boy, it would have been
coherent.
bad.
Yeah, it would have been
Bonus
just
episode faux show.
faux show. Rob and I were just aggro, and Josh would have been Disney Josh.
Disney Josh is the best version of Josh, but we won't go there. I digress.
I have one thing to add.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I haven't done it earlier. So, as we talked about earlier, me and Josh did share a room for the
Oh,
evening.
yes. I forgot about this.
And we're both getting ready for bed. I like take a much needed shower after the Disney adventure.
Yeah.
And going into bed. And Corey, I think, has told this story in the past where when I go to sleep,
He's like a parakeet.
Yeah.
yeah, just out like a light.
Did you not bring the machine?
I did.
Okay.
And Josh, actually, before I left, Josh said, hey, do you have the machine? And I was like, yeah, man. He's like, great, you can stay with me. No machine, no stay.
You could fucking figure it out, bud.
Yeah.
Stay in the lobby, buddy.
Yeah, which made me feel actually pretty bad. But then I thought about it, and I was like, that's fair.
Yeah.
So we get into the room, and I'm like tired, obviously, but I'm
And-
not like,
We should point out that this is at the end of the Epcot day, in which
Right.
earlier in the day, you were barely able to stand up.
right.
And also, when I was in the shop and you guys were sitting on the bench, Corey mentioned that you were just like sitting there falling asleep on the bench. Like, couldn't stay up to save your life.
Oh my god.
So that context is important to what Rob's about to
So
say.
when Rob sits on a bench, you can tell he's really trying to get comfy, because he brings one leg up and he sits on like his foot.
yeah, yeah.
And then like he put his arm on his leg, and like I'm in mid conversation with him, and I just see his eyes like close, and then like his mouth dropped open, and I'm like, Rob, huh? Yeah, what's up? What did I miss?
yeah, I was. So at
How
the
much
park,
time did I miss?
You were at,
At the park.
fucking Epcot.
at Epcot with fireworks going on? I was starting to pass out a little bit.
That's
But
impressive.
then we get back to the hotel room. I had
An
a nice
hour
shower.
later.
An hour and a half later. Had a lovely shower and like getting into bed, like getting all comfy and stuff. I had to like organize the pillows. So I'm a very firm pillow sleeper, which I guess is controversial because every fucking hotel room I ever go into has like 4 pillows, and they're all like, if you lay on it, it just goes and like goes straight fucking flat.
Yeah.
But so anyways, I'm laying down, and Josh was like, "Hey, do you want the TV on, or what do you think?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine, man." So he turns the TV off. I like go to check in for my flight, and I hear Josh roll over. Like he's laying there for maybe like a minute, then I hear him roll over, and within 15 seconds, I hear snoring coming from it, like just loud snoring, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Is this what it's like? And then, of course, I pass out directly after that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a good night.
It was great.
Good times. We were at Disney for way too fucking long, though.
I told Rob and Corey that they would never make it on one of my vacations because we didn't get to Epcot until 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m., maybe later than that. And so we were there for 7 or 8 hours, right? And when I go on vacation, we like get there 30 minutes before the park opens so we can be there like at rope drop. We stay through the end of the fireworks show, and then we fucking get up the next morning and do it again, and we do that like 8 days in a row. If you look at my pedometer whenever I go on vacation, it's like 15 or 16 miles a day minimum, and it's usually more than that.
Josh runs a goddamn half marathon every day for a week.
Yeah. And there's this thing called Disney rash where when you're fat and you go into hot, humid areas, all the capillaries and blood vessels from your like calf muscle down just burst, and you got this rash that's hot and painful. That happens on like day 1 every time, and it's debilitating, but just push through, buddy. Just got to make it. And Corey and Rob are like, that's not a fucking vacation.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never do that.
That's fucking torture is what that is. Buddy.
So
Sounds like it.
they were both like, yeah, I think I've had all the Disney I need for like the rest of my life.
like maybe the next decade or so.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I'd be good to go back. That's not true. Like, I had a good time and everything. I just also, by the end of it, I was pretty tired.
Yeah. But it was like a half day.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I would very much like to go do all the Star Wars-y things.
Me too.
We should plan a full Appleboys trip and stay in the Star Wars hotel.
I'm down for that.
We're going to need a lot more patrons before we
That's
get
true.
We're
there.
gonna
no
we're gonna
shit.
need a lot of money for that.
Yeah,
for
if you
sure.
guys want to sign up for founder status, we will live vlog the entire Star Wars experience if you guys pay for it.
We won't even vlog. We'll get on FaceTime
That-
with each of you.
Well, that would be like
a
live
A
vlogging.
vlog is a video blog.
No, individually.
Ha-
One at a time.
Uh-huh. But then,
But
we do them
then
all
they
at
can't
once.
see the whole trip.
We'll do both. Some of it will be personalized
Will there be dicks?
Of course, there'll be dicks.
upon request.
Will there be?
For founders?
Will there be? Will they see the forbidden technique?
For founders?
What if? What if the 4 of us? Never mind.
Whoa, I
Forbidden
feel like I
technique
know
each
where
other?
this is going, but no.
Not each other. No, just like
What if it's just like
into the
half?
same circle.
I mean, nobody wants
What-
to see that.
What if it's just like half? Like just
No.
like this is me.
we've each got
Yeah.
one hand going? Just-
Oh my god.
What do you mean?
I wish you could see the hand motions.
I don't.
That
I'm
was-
so glad they can't see that.
That was a rough hand motion.
That
That was
good.
really bad. There should be an animated GIF of that.
It was good.
Do we have to reach across the aisle for that one?
I think so.
All right. So, all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I think that it's time for the announcer guy to give you all the social links. So, I'm sorry that we were not able to actually record while we were in Orlando, but happy Mother's Day and happy tonight.
Happy tonight.
Happy tonight.
Happy tonight.
You've been listening to the Appleboys podcast. I know. We're badass. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. Thank you for listening, especially premium subscribers. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on Discord at discord.gg/Appleboys, on the website at appleboys.us, and Twitter and Facebook at AppleboysPod. Happy tonight.